It's great to be here at the Power of a Hug event in the Senedd. It's a really fantastic celebration of how Welsh Government research and innovation funding can make a real difference. At essence, this assistive technology is a simple idea. How to help people with memory loss initially, but more beyond, to understand the connections that really are of value and the power and the difference that makes to people's lives. Innovation in Wales is all about making a practical difference, and this is just that. I look forward to seeing how the Power of a Hug can carry on making a difference in Wales and within the wider world.
So the hug was developed from university research at Cardiff Met and subsequent research that's going on now at UWE Bristol, and also through the spin-out company Hug by Laugh. So the initial research looked at playful objects for people with late-stage dementia, and Hug was one of those objects that we developed. It was developed for a lady called Thelma to offer comfort and connection for her as she was near an end of life.
Oh, the hug. The hug is wonderful. I first met the hug at a dementia conference in Doncaster, and as soon as I held the hug, it took me back to my childhood when my mum used to wrap me in the Welsh shawl and swaddle me close to herself, and it took me straight back to that love from my mum and give me that comfort. So I've used the hug myself, and also recently I cared for a friend who was at end of life who had Alzheimer's. And Cathy, the professor, came to her house and gave her a hug, and the difference it made to her, she just hugged or clutched the hug doll, and even when she wasn't holding it like this, she was touching it and smoothing it, and it made a huge difference to her at the end of her life. So I just know that we all know that our dementia is going to get worse. So I know without a shadow of a doubt that as my dementia progresses, I think the hug doll will become even more important to me.
So I had the great privilege of being able to care for my mum in the last 10 years of her life when she lived with dementia, and we were gifted a hug when she was going towards the end of her life, and Hug gave Mum so much comfort. It was quite incredible really how we all adopted Hug into our family, and Hug gave Mum a sense of purpose, a reason to get up in the morning, because I think it was very much about what Mum gave to Hug as much as what Hug gave to Mum. I think it was a reciprocal relationship.
Today has been split into three sections. So we had the story of Hug to start with, we had the story of Hug delivered in Gwent, and then we talked about assistive technology and the future of assistive technology generally within health and social care. I think there's been lots of good conversation. We've heard some amazing stories, and I think that can hopefully be used to drive the agenda and improve the use and prominence of assistive technology in health and social care.
There are so many benefits, and it's been amazing today to hear the really powerful stories of individuals about how it's impacted them in their daily lives, about those stories of comfort, about relaxation, about the safety of going to visits, and just about the opportunities it brings for carers as well to feel safe in leaving the people they're caring for. But I'm also an NHS worker and an NHS manager, and sometimes it comes down to hard pounds and pence. And to thinking about the role that we have in preventing people getting worse and deteriorating healthcare. And that's where I think you come into devices like this that offer a really simple solution to reducing need for healthcare services.
So the event has been about bringing people together from different disciplines. So we've got health professionals here, we've got charities, there's also people from government as well as academics. And it's really been about bringing them together to hear about these amazing case studies from the trial of the hugs across the Gwent region. So it's also been important to consider the future of assistive technology in supporting care. So we've also been having discussions around the things we should be considering around that, around making best use of assistive technology, what we might need to do to drive the agenda forward on that as well. and all those other things that we should be considering to make sure that the hug and also things like hug can be used in supporting people.